So we're going to talk about max, min, domain, and range from an equation. Can you guys pay attention, because I will lose you. You either get this really, really well or you're lost. There's no in between on this one, and it's totally based off of if you understand or not. So if I go and I give you like the midline of a graph, okay? So say this is the midline of my graph, and I tell you it is at 1, okay? So I tell you my midline is at y equals 1. Where does the midline come from off of the equation? We just discussed. Where does the midline come from off the equation? It's the d value, yes? So if I give you the midline, or I give you the d value, you know the midline, correct? What is the definition of amplitude? Half the what? Half the vertical distance, correct? Half the vertical distance. So from the min to max divided by 2, half the vertical distance. So if I give you the midline is 1, and then I tell you the amplitude, because I have to do the midline first. I tell you the amplitude is 3. Can I get the max and min from that? If I know where the middle of the graph is, the midline, and I know the vertical distance, half of it is 3, can I get the max and mins from that? Let's talk about it. How do I do that? So my middle of my graph is at 1, and I have an amplitude of 3. What is my maximum, guys? It's at 4. Thanks for the support. And then if my midline is 1 and my amplitude is 3, what is my minimum? Close. Negative. Bye. You're not learning, you learn. Bye. We miss you so much that we're here in period 2 as well. You pop back in period 3 too? Yeah, okay, thanks. No, hi too. Cool. All right, so we have our min and our max. So, does that make sense? So, what do we have to use first? The amplitude or the midline? We have to use the midline first, and then we count up our amplitude to get to our max, we count down our amplitude to get to our min. Okay? So let's look at this one. This one has, before we do maximum and minimum, let's just discuss amplitude and midline. This one has a midline at what? What's its midline at? 2. And what's its midline is not at 2. It's at y equals 2. So it's a midline, correct? And then my amplitude is what? My amplitude is 3. So can we draw it out to get our max and mins, visualizing it? Where do we start at? We start at y equals 2. Okay. We start at y equals 2, yes? Okay. Then we have an amplitude of what? 3. So that means we're going to go up 3 from 2. So what's our max at? 5. And we're going to go down 3 from 2. Ooh, that's aggressive, 3. We're going to go down 3 from 2, and what are we going to get to? 1. Right? So what are we essentially doing? We're doing, to get our maximum, we're doing the d value plus what? Amplitude. And some people say the a value. It's not the a value because our a value could be negative, correct? So it's d value plus amplitude. So we damp. So it's damp, not amped. It's damp. Good stuff. All right. So it's d plus amplitude. So we're going to get 2 plus 3, which is 5. And then this is d minus amplitude, which is 2 minus 3, which is -1. True? And it's not because we're memorizing the word damp. It's because we understand that we start at the midline and add that amplitude to get to the max. Start at the midline, subtract that amplitude to get to the min. Right? The more we understand, the better we will be at mathematics. Okay, what's the domain always? X such that x down is real, this goes on for life. And then my range, I need my min and my max for, which I already have. So it's going to be y such that, low to high, negative 1 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to 5. Y is now in the real. Okay? Make sense? 2, 3, 4. Go. So, let's first talk about what is the amplitude. It is 6. Amplitude always has to be what? Positive. Does my midline have to be positive? No. This one doesn't have a d value, so what is my midline? Y equals 0. Okay. Now my maximum, if it's y equals 0, my maximum is just what my amplitude is. My minimum is the negative of that, correct? Because if I'm starting at the x-axis and I go up 6 and I go down 6, it's negative 6 to 6, correct? So when the midline is 0, that's actually the easiest. So we're going to do midline plus amplitude, which gets me 6. And the midline minus the amplitude, which gets me negative 6. My domain is XER. And my range is y such that negative 6 is less than or equal to y, is less than or equal to 6. Y is now in the real. The next one, my midline is what? What's the midline? Close. Close. Y equals negative 7. It's a midline, right? So you say 7, you're giving me the median value. The midline is y equals negative 7. And then my amplitude goes up 0.5 and down 0.5 from negative 7, correct? So if I do negative 7 plus 0.5, so up 0.5 from negative 7, I'm at negative 6.5. And then if I do negative 7 minus 0.5, so I go down 0.5 more, I'm at negative 7.5. My domain is x such that x is now the real. And my range is y such that negative, the lowest, negative 7.5, less than or equal to y is less than or equal to, do you see how they're the same sign? Low to high. Okay, 4. What is my midline? Y equals 4. Yeah. Okay. Y equals. Finally, something. Amplitude.
1 over 2.
And if you wanted to, could you go 0.5? I don't know, I'm putting back. Could you put 0.5 instead of 1 over 2? Sure. So my maximum is going to be 4 plus 0.5, so I'm at a line of 4, I go up 0.5, I'm now at 4.5 for my highest. I'm at a line horizontal at 4, I'm going to go down 0.5, and now I'm going to be at 3.5. So my domain is x and out of the reals. My range is y such that 3.5 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to 4.5. Y is now the real. Yeah? So not too bad, correct? Okay. Then flip over. Flip, flip, I'm coming back to those flip, flip, and this one. So, last regression you're going to see this year. Sinusoidal regression. So we're going to type it in, and we're going to pick the letter C this time when we calculate. Remember, 4, 5, and 6 is linear, quadratic, cubic, log regression, exponential regression, sine. Right? So we're going to pick C this time. So go, y1, y2. So, we do stat, calc, letter C, which is sine reg. And we want to save it in our y equals. Anyways, here it says, determine sinusoidal regression from the above. Round values nearest hundredths where necessary. So we're going to get y equals 246 sine 0.17 x minus 1.57 plus plus 295. So that's what you should have written. Do we put that rounded version into our y equals though? No, we use all the buttons to get it into our y equals without changing, right? Make sure your window is changed to fit the data. So we're going from 0 to 74, so I'm going to go 0 to 140. I like doubling it. And then I'm going up to 541, so I'm going to go 0 to 600 maybe. What mode does your calculator need to be in? Radian. Your calculator's in degree, it's not going to look like a normal sine function. So it should look like that curvy sine functions that we've seen the whole time, correct? If it doesn't, it's because your calculator's in degree mode. Or you did not listen to the window. You should be getting something. That's looking kind of curvy. Yeah? So here it says, Jordy's friend Yale was in a building directly across from Singapore Flyer. Let's read the whole thing. In 2011, the Singapore Flyer is the largest Ferris wheel in the world. The table below gives the height of a rider from the ground at different times. This sounds horrific. 541 feet off. No, thank you. It was like, when did Mrs. Lepp get to a height of 540? Never. She did not get on. How long did it take her to do one full revolution? None. She didn't get on. This would be the really easiest question if it was me getting on this flyer like Jordan. 0 time, 0 height. 74 minutes, 0 height. Yeah, I would never get on. All right. So they rode in 4 consecutive rotations. Okay. Jordy's friend Yale was building across from the Singapore Flyer at a height of 400 feet. When was the second time he reached it? So 400 feet, is that X or Y based off of the units? Y. So we know we have Y equals 400. Where do we put that? Into Y2. Now there's a whole bunch of times that they are reaching 400 feet, correct? Because they're going up, then back down, then up, then back down, then up, then back down. My answer would be easy. 0. Never reached 400 feet. She did not get on the race. Wouldn't that be the best math questions? All of these. So they want the second time, right? So let's find it out. I'm not going to tell you. Let's go second trace 5, and you make sure you're near the second time before you hit enter, enter, enter. Everyone doing it? You need to be near the second time. If you're not near the second time, it'll calculate whatever the heck you're near, and it won't be the second time, maybe, and you might get it wrong. So get it into your Y2, and second trace 5, and then move it over. Now, something to note to self. You can pop off one graph onto the other. So if you're on the curvy graph, if you're on the sine graph, it might take longer to get to that intersection, correct? But if you arrow up or arrow down, it'll pop you onto the horizontal line, and you'll just shoot across. Okay? Didn't know that in high school, wish I did. My teacher probably taught me, and I just didn't listen. I was overwhelmed. I'm not sure. But if you arrow up or arrow down, it'll pop you off each different graph, right? And some just get you there fast. Can you just hold it longer and get there? Sure. I gave up, quit. It was like, I'm done with you. And then you're up on the graph. So a second trace 5. So, it is going to be 25.15 minutes. Okay. The next one says, at what height was Jordy at when the time was 96 minutes? So this time they gave me what? X. X is easier. The only way X doesn't work is if your window doesn't have 96 in it, correct? If your window's too small, it'll fight you. It'll be like, ever. So we have to go second. First off, go to your Y equals and take out the 400, or it'll try and find it on that one. So go to your Y2 and take out the 400. And then go second trace value, 96. And I get 498.81 minutes. Then here it wants to know what time did Jordy get off the ride. So we need to find that minimum that he gets off the ride. So if we go, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not even enough. I have to make my window wider. So my Y max, I'm gonna take the 800. So watch, it's gonna be 1, 2, I just said Y max, I'm an idiot.
You said
X max. Yeah, I need my X max to be bigger. 200. Okay, so it's gonna be 1, 2, he could get off. 3, he could get off of the ride. 4, he gets off on 4, right? So we go second trace, 3, he gets off the ride on 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, I need to get to the 4th one. And find the minimum. And am I taking the X, which is time, or the Y, which is the minimum? X, which is time. So when does he get off of the ride? 548 minutes.
It's supposed to be 498.
Oh, why did I put minutes? Catch person. Aggressively slow. And that is like, if you want anything, if I like have like some serious like hidden things and you want to find out what they are, just put me on there, on that ride for this long, and take a fork and like rub it between your teeth. I will tell you anything. Or on a plate. Or 2 forks together. I gotta DVDs. So if you really want to like find out like an inner secret, throw me on the Singapore flyer and then rub 2 forks. I'm never going there. It's never happened. And rub 2 forks together. Just kidding. Actually, I tattooed you taking out 2 forks together. When you taking silverware out of the dishwasher, I feel like very careful. Because it makes so much sense to have forks.